Hi friends, we're going to continue on with Lesson 1 Life Cycles found on page 174. We're starting our new life cycle unit. Okay, the top of page 174, the title of the lesson is Life Cycles. And the header in orange says Engineering Connection. Leatherback turtles are named for their soft, leathery shells. These turtles live in the ocean for most of the year. However, mother turtles return to the beach to lay their eggs. They dig nests in the sand with their rear flippers. Each turtle lays her eggs, covers them, and returns to the ocean. After 2 months, the eggs begin to hatch. At night, the baby turtles crawl toward the ocean. Young turtles have a small chance that they will get to the ocean. Predators will capture many of them. Some will be confused by bright lights near the beach. Engineers and concerned citizens are working together to find ways to help the baby turtles. Barriers and signs in some places keep the baby turtles safe. Write about it. In your science notebook, write about what you think it would be like to watch baby sea turtles hatch and crawl toward the ocean at night. It would be totally cool. All right, on top of the page 175, you investigate lab. How are life cycles similar and different? That's the header or the title of this page. How are life cycles similar and different? Okay, the materials you'll need are the life cycles sheets. And those are found on my webpage under Science. And it says Life Cycle Comparison PDF on my website. Okay. You will not need scissors, glue, construction paper, yarn, or you don't need any of that. Okay, here we go. Scientists investigate to find out how organisms are alike and different. How can you compare life cycles? Procedure number 1. Use life cycle sheets to observe how life cycles are alike and different. And we're not doing number 2, 3, or 4, but we're going to fill in the chart to help us understand. Analyze and interpret the data. Compare and contrast. How does the model, that's the chart, show that life cycles are alike? How do they show that life cycles are different? Okay, we're going to do that in just a minute, but let's read this answer really quick so we can think about it as we make our chart. The models show that living things change during their life. Some living things look very much like their parents at birth. They do not change much as they grow. Other living things change a lot as they grow. Okay, so the next page you'll see, it says mammal life cycles. What is a mammal? A mammal has fur or hair. It produces milk to feed babies. Most have teeth. Most give birth to live young. And they're all warm-blooded. So then there's this mammal life cycle. And first, the adult mammal finds a mate and female becomes pregnant. During pregnancy, the baby grows in the mother. The baby is born. That's where the deer is. Then with the pig, young mammal is cared for by a parent and grows stronger. And that's where they have the milk. Adolescent mammals learn to survive alone. And then the cycle keeps repeating. That's why they call it a life cycle. Okay, it goes from babies all the way to get till they're adults. The amphibian life cycle. What is an amphibian? They live both in and out of water. They all start life in the water. They are born with gills and a tail. They are cold-blooded. They develop lungs and legs when they grow up. They have slippery skin that can absorb water. Okay. Amphibian life cycles. So an amphibian develops lungs and, okay, so eggs laid in water. So their eggs are laid in the water. The amphibian breaks out of a gel or jelly. Amphibian has gills to breathe underwater. Amphibian develops legs, and then the amphibian develops lungs and breathes on land. Pretty cool. Bird life cycles. What is a bird? Birds have feathers, they have wings, they lay eggs, they have 2 legs, they have holes for ears, they're warm-blooded, and they breathe air. So, eggs laid in a nest. The eggs hatch to a baby bird. The chicks are fed by parents until they are strong. The chicks grow into adult birds, and the bird finds a mate to build a nest with. And that's the bird life cycle. The butterfly life cycle, I'm sure you remember this, especially in kindergarten. It's called metamorphosis, life cycle of a butterfly. Number 1, eggs are laid on a leaf and will hatch in 1 week. Number 2, caterpillar or the larva eats a lot and grows fast. It forms into a cocoon. Number 3, the chrysalis or pupa. It's inside of this for 2 weeks. And then number 4, an adult has wings, antenna, an abdomen, and a thorax. And then they lay eggs. So it keeps on going. The cycle keeps going. Okay, now this is where our chart is. It says a comparison chart. The first row says mammals, amphibians, birds, and butterflies. And then down the first column it says lays eggs, have a live birth, female carries the young, female produces milk to feed the young, has an adolescent phase, spends part of life in water, has wings in adulthood. Okay, so this is where we go through and we add yes or no. So for example, lays eggs. Does a mammal lay eggs? If you can't remember, you can go back to the life cycle, mammal life cycle, and look at the picture. Nope, there are no eggs. They do not lay eggs. So you would write no under mammals on the first row for laying eggs. Do amphibians lay eggs? Yes, they lay eggs in water. So you'll write yes. Do birds lay eggs? Yes. So you'll write yes for that as well. And then do butterflies lay eggs? Yes. And so you'll write yes for that as well. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and you can complete this on your own. Again, refer back to your life cycle charts. Okay, the next page you should see in this PDF is life cycles. How are they alike and how are they different? So that was the big question about how are all the life cycles alike? They're all alike because we start with birth. It doesn't matter if it's an egg or a baby. We all start with birth. We involve growth over time. We reproduce, and then we end with death. And that's how they're all similar. Butterflies, mammals, amphibians, they're all the same. The difference is that some have eggs, some have babies, some do metamorphosis, a change of form from one stage to the next in life, like a caterpillar to a pupa to an adult butterfly. Some germinate, and this is to develop into a plant as a seed, spore, it's supposed to say spore, or bulb, and to put forth shoots, sprouts, or pollinate. So that is how they are different. Okay. All right. Now let's go to page 176. Diversity of living things. That is the top of the title or the header of page 176. Earth has millions of different kinds of organisms. An organism is a living thing, such as a plant or an animal. You are an organism too. The sprouting plant and the newborn elk in the photos are just two of the diverse kinds of organisms on Earth. Diverse means that there are many different kinds. Although organisms are diverse, they are alike in some ways. Each organism begins life, grows, and dies. All kinds of organisms also reproduce. When an organism reproduces, it makes more organisms of the same kind as the parent. Living things reproduce so that organisms of their kind can continue to live on Earth. Compare. In what ways is the newborn elk like its mother? Remember to use the words in the question in your answer. The newborn elk is like its mother by both having having 2 ears, 4 legs, brown fur, and eyes on the sides of their head. Top of page 177. Plant reproduction. Organisms can begin their life in different ways. We usually think of a seed as the beginning of life for a plant. Seeds come in many different sizes, shapes, and colors, but all seeds have the same parts. The outside part protects the plant. Inside the seed is a tiny plant. Under the right conditions, the seed can sprout. The seed needs air, the right temperature, and the right amount of water to sprout. The seed has stored food that the tiny plant uses when it starts to grow into a new plant. The picture shows a sunflower seed that has begun to sprout. The green part will become the stem and leaves. Roots will grow downward from the seed. Soon, the new plant will be able to make its own food. So the picture shows, you can see where it says roots. The food is inside of the brown seed. The outer covering, that's the brown part, is the coat. The tiny plant has a stem and leaves. At the top where it says, you be a scientist observing growth. With an adult, fill a clear plastic cup with soil. Plant a bean against the side of the cup. In a notebook, record your observations as the plant grows. Okay, friends, I'm going to stop here and we'll continue in the next video.